think it sounds horrible.
I love it.
Oh, he's back.
He's
He's
back.
back from the dead.
Sorry,
Hey.
my bad. No, what happened? I accidentally restarted the computer because I wasn't paying attention.
Wow. What?
Button on the computer called restart. It's what you don't press when you're.
No. What was happening is I was installing the drivers and I wasn't really paying attention to what they all, like what it said on all of them, and apparently one of them said.
Restart now? Do it? Okay.
Well, it was just like, it was like the last step of the installation was restarting it. Anyway, so what I was saying, as long as we play 8 of those matches, everybody on the team is eligible to get a shirt for free.
Yeah.
So it's really,
Participation reward.
Free shit.
Yeah, it's cool. It's, they're fun. They're nice shirts. I have 2 of them already. They're pretty.
Wait,
pretty,
2?
Brag about it.
They look good. No, and they're comfortable.
Wait, how do you have 2?
Because I played fall split, spring split, and
Oh, okay.
I played 3 splits already actually. So I should have. Anyways, but so they're pretty comfortable. But really, what I'm saying there is that this is not super high stakes. So I think the biggest reason that I'm doing this and that we're doing this is to have fun and to be able to play Overwatch in a fun setting. So I just want, kind of make sure that it's clear that that's kind of our main goal here. There's going to be times where we're in game and it's kind of frustrating and maybe one person or 2 people are really, just having a bad day. That's going to happen. But I think, given the situation, it's really not worth getting upset over. Or really, not to say, obviously we should be trying our hardest, and we, I think it's going to be competitive, and I'm still going to be kind of like bummed out if we lose, right? I'm going to be, right, and excited if we win. I think that's true for everybody. But, if we lose, it's not the end of the world, and there's no reason that anybody should ever really be attacking others or, giving anybody else crap, right?
Yeah,
Obviously,
It's a safe place.
yeah. Obviously, on the flip side of that, constructive criticism is very important. If after a game, it's pretty clear that I don't know, I was having a bad day or something, or Nightmare kept jumping in his Winston really poorly, and his positioning was just hot garbage. Just I think after the game we would just sit down and be like, I think for next during. No, I think but you would say I think for next practice we should focus on coordinating with Nightmare more and figuring out when he should be jumping and whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. So that kind of more like a let's work on this rather than you suck, screw you kind of a deal.
Can I say I suck if it was me though?
Yeah. Everybody's allowed to self-deprecate. That's a given.
Self-deprecation in a video.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean.
I'm
So I and kind of along that same lanes, I think it's great. I've seen a lot of memes. I've seen a lot of jokes. I think that's awesome. That said, obviously sometimes accidentally, you can say something that hurts somebody's feelings. In those moments, I think it's important to apologize, even if you didn't mean to hurt the other person's feelings. At the same time, if somebody said something that offended you. I think we're we're all adults here. This isn't middle school Overwatch. This is college Overwatch. I would hope that we can resolve issues like that with just simple communication and understanding. I really don't want to have to deal with drama or bullshit like that. I would rather just have this be like a normal group of emotionally mature people who can deal with problems. So I think that's gonna be one of the big right. Like I don't think that's super unrealistic or unfair of me to ask.
Nah.
As far as the team itself and the way that it's gonna work, right now, I have it listed as 6 main players and 3 subs, just so that it's understood how the dynamic is gonna work. I think generally, for every scrim. So for every practice and every game, I'm going to try to just field the 6 main players. So like today, I think most of the subs probably aren't going to play today. That said, the reason I took 3 subs, which I would say is that's a large number of subs, is because I don't expect that we're going to have everybody every time. This is not, like I said, this is not super serious. Like for example, today we don't have Furry Lover because he had a prior, and I think also it was pretty clear from our schedule that there's not a lot of times when everybody is going to be available. And I'm pretty much at the point where while I would like to have the 6 main players there, I will definitely schedule Scrim for a day when we're missing one or, like for a day when somebody's missing and just, fill in with a sub. So I'm hoping that while officially I'm not like setting any like rotations for subs to come in on scrims and games, just naturally through the way that it's going to happen. And I might even set up, say like, okay, everybody else is available, but I'm not on Friday. We'll play one of our matches this week on Friday, and Zeta will play the DPS for that day, right? I think that's not necessarily, so I think that's kind of just to be clear about what the roles are like. And throughout the year, if we find 3 weeks in that really we're not getting any sub play time at all, then I might start adding a bit of a rotation for subs to come in and play a little bit during scrims, so that they at least get some play time, can play with the team, and that way if we need a sub, they're more integrated and it's not just like randomly popping somebody in, right? But I'm kind of anticipating that that's not going to be necessary, and that we're just going to, like I said, naturally it's going to happen. So kind of while we're on the topic, in terms of actually playtime, I had kind of thought that we were most likely going to do 3 2-hour sessions a week. So, and that would be anywhere from 2 scrims and 1 match to 2 matches and 1 scrim to 3 matches, like depending on availabilities, the number of matches might change, but I'm thinking 3 sessions. And I know a lot of you are right now probably thinking, well, that might actually be, I don't know if I have time for that. That's why we have 3 subs, right? The whole point is hopefully between 9 players, we can consistently field 6 players for 3 times a week. And and that's why I think the subs are probably going to get a decent amount of play time anyways. So that's kind of just the initial statement of how I think our weekly schedule is going to look like. And I think if there was anything else. Oh, okay. So then, actually, I'll ask, do you guys have any questions about that part of what I was going to say? Weekly schedule, roles on the team, so forth.
Nah.
No, that all sounds really good.
Okay, so if everybody thinks that sounds, and like I said, like I was saying today, subs aren't necessarily going to be playing. That doesn't, you're still, I would absolutely love it if you all stuck around. You don't have to, but if you stick around, want to spectate, want to, like, if you're, like, if, for example, Zeta knows he's a hit scan DPS sub, if he wants to watch me and see how I position and whatnot, like, definitely you should be trying to learn from the people who are on the team right now. So if you have the time, definitely stick around, I would say.
Yeah, I'm here all night, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I don't have life either.
So that's kind of outside of that, in terms of actual how I think the team is going to work. Obviously, I'm the captain, and so I will probably be doing most of the shot calling or decision making, like what team comp I think we should run, how I think we should push in, all of that stuff. But obviously, I'm not always going to be level-headed, right? Sometimes I might tilt, and I'm not always going to have all of the right ideas. So I encourage everybody to, obviously let me know what they think. Give me, like, if you think we should be running Farm Mercy at this moment, just say, hey, we could try running a Farm Mercy, right? I'm always looking for solutions to what you guys think we should be running or how you guys think we should be playing the game. And I don't always necessarily think I'm going to be the most qualified player. You can ask Victor, he was on the team last semester, where I literally pretty much handed over most of the shot calling to Evelyn, Evie, because I felt that in terms of in-game knowledge, she knew more than I did. So I try to make it kind of a cohesive, like everybody works together to find the solution environment. But at the end of the day, when I make my call, based on the information you guys give me, or based on all your feedback, whatever call I make, that's what we're gonna go with. And I think that's important. You know, I want to value you guys' feedback, but at the end of the day, once I make my decision, that's what we're playing. And we can't have, you know, like last semester we had a player who would randomly, you know, switch heroes and just like throw off our entire team comp. That's something that I don't think we can really have. I think once we make a decision on our team comp, let's just stick with that. And then if you think we should change it up, bring it up, and I'll try to take all that into consideration.
Wait, last semester?
Nostalgia.
Oh, kinda, yeah.
The other thing that kind of leads from, I don't want to trash talk him too much. Most of you haven't met him, but there is a level of respect, mutual respect, that needs to happen here. In terms of, I am absolutely aware we're all college students. This is not a super serious tournament. There are going to be times when you cannot make it. That is perfectly fine. But every single one of those times, barring like an emergency where your internet cuts out 10 minutes before we start or something, or I don't know, you get a call from the hospital, your mom's in the hospital, you couldn't foresee that, right? But most of the time, you can foresee, you know, like, you know by 2 p.m. that you're going to be swamped with homework tonight. And you should, like, if you can't make it, let me know beforehand. That's just a mutual respect thing. You know, that's when I'm scheduling scrims, I go and I tell another team that we are going to be there to play, and I hate it when 10 minutes after we were supposed to be there to play, I find out that my players aren't going to be there. I have to end up to tell that team, sorry, we can't scrim. Nobody on our team gets to practice. The other team is then scrambling. It sucks when you get canceled on, so I think that's something where, out of respect for each other and respect for the other people who are playing this game, if you can't make it, that's fine. It's understandable. No problem. Just let me know beforehand. And that goes especially for games. You know, on scrims, it's not the end of the world. But you know, like last semester, we had an official match where a player showed up 3 hours late. Once the match was way over. That cannot happen. At least let me know beforehand so I can ask a sub, make sure we have the players, you know, get everything organized. So I think that's kind of just a big important factor of working as a team. I don't know if anybody has any questions or any comments about that portion right there.
No, that's all very valid points. I agree with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me make sure. Sorry. So that's pretty much, I think that's most of what I wanted to go over today in terms of just how the team is going to work, function, what the overall structure should look like. So right now is when we're supposed to start scrimming this team. So I'm actually just going to I'm trying to, okay, let's see. I think this guy just added me, so we will get the game going in just a second. Let me just delete my post from the Discord so that other people don't message me.
You good on that recording now?
Yeah, that's good. So that's